Imagine opening your eyes and seeing a bird with blue feet dancing like it's in a carnival. Or a giant parrot that can't fly but smells like a damp forest. Or even a bird that sings, imitating chainsaws and cameras. The world is full of creatures that seem to come from a dream. Birds so rare and amazing, they seem to defy logic itself. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover 15 of the most extraordinary birds on the planet. And I assure you that once you see them, you'll never look at birds the same way again. Number 1. Wilson's bird of paradise, Cicinurus respublica. Deep in the jungles of West Papua, there is a bird that seems to escape reality and land directly on a modern art canvas. The Wilson's bird of paradise is a living jewel, a marvel of evolution that mixes impossible colors and shapes that seem designed by a surrealist artist. Its head is crowned by an electric blue cap that shines like a gemstone under the sunlight filtered by the forest's thickness. But the most intriguing part is its tail feathers, 2 twisted filaments that end in perfect spirals, as if nature had taken a brush and decided to sign its masterpiece with an elegant gesture. The fascinating thing is that this explosion of beauty has no other purpose than to conquer. The male Wilson's bird of paradise turns courtship into a theatrical spectacle. It meticulously cleans the forest floor, clearing away leaves and branches to leave an impeccable stage. And there it displays its plumage, moving with calculated steps so that every flash of color hypnotizes the female. She, demanding, watches from a branch, evaluating whether the choreography and radiance are worthy of her attention. In that instant, the entire jungle seems to hold its breath, as if the trees and insects are pausing to witness a dance that has evolved over millions of years. But behind this spectacle is also a reminder of fragility. The Wilson's bird of paradise inhabits a very small territory, which makes it vulnerable to habitat loss. Its rarity is twofold, not only for the extravagant form that distinguishes it, but because few human eyes have had the privilege of seeing it in the wild. It is a bird that seems invented, but lives, breathes, and flies in one of the most remote corners of the planet. 2. Kakapo, Strigops habroctilus. On the distant islands of New Zealand lives a being that challenges everything we think we know about parrots. It's called the kakapo, and it's the strangest parrot on the planet. For starters, it can't fly. Its small wings barely serve to balance it when it clumsily climbs among branches or when it drops itself, like an impromptu paratrooper from the trees. It's a nocturnal parrot, a giant that can weigh more than 3 kilos, making it the heaviest parrot in the world. At first glance, it looks like a creature from a fantasy tale. Its mottled green plumage perfectly camouflages it among the moss and ferns of the wet forests. And when you get close, you discover a charming detail. The kakapo smells. Not just of anything, but of damp earth and fresh moss, as if the scent of the forest that protects it is impregnated in its feathers. This natural perfume gives it away to predators, a detail that has put its survival at risk. But for us, it's like an invisible trail that connects it to the very essence of its environment. Its nocturnal life is full of mysteries. During the mating season, males dig holes in the ground and emit deep calls that echo like drums for kilometers. It's a deep, almost subterranean song that vibrates in the night air and guides females towards its origin. Everything about the kakapo seems like an echo of ancient times, as if it were a living remnant of a forgotten world. But it is also a story of fragility. With the arrival of predators introduced by humans, such as cats and rats, the species was on the brink of extinction. Today, only a few hundred remain, protected with extreme care on islands free from threats. Seeing a kakapo in the wild is like watching a miracle in motion, a reminder of how strange and precious the path of evolution can be. 3. Hoatzin, Opisthocomus hosen. On the swampy banks of the Amazon and Orinoco rivers appears a bird that seems frozen in time. It is the hoatzin, popularly known as the stink bird. Its nickname is not a gratuitous insult, but a direct consequence of its very strange digestive system. Unlike most birds, the hoatzin ferments the leaves it eats in a special chamber in its stomach, just as cows do. The result is a strong, acrid smell that permeates the air around it. It's as if the jungle itself exhales through its body. The Hoatzin's appearance is as peculiar as its diet. It has a bluish face, penetrating red eyes, and a crest of feathers that gives it a punk, almost defiant air. When it flits among the branches of mangroves, it looks like a character from a prehistoric fable. And in a sense, it is. Its chicks are born with claws on their wings, a rarity that directly recalls ancient feathered dinosaurs. These little ones clumsily climb the branches, using their claws as hooks until they mature and lose them. It's like witnessing a window into the past, a reminder that today's birds are direct heirs of those extinct titans. The Hoatzin doesn't sing like a melodious bird. Instead, it grunts, hisses, and makes guttural snorts. It sounds more like a reptile than a bird, reinforcing the feeling of being in the presence of a living fossil. Perhaps that's why many Amazonian cultures view it with fascination and respect, although they rarely hunt it. Its meat, saturated with the smell of its digestion, is unappetizing. The Hoatzin is a perfect example of how nature doesn't follow rules of human elegance or logic. It is strange, noisy, and smelly, but also a survivor that holds clues to the oldest history of birds in its body. Looking at it is like traveling back in time. 4. Superb lyrebird, Menura novae hollandii. In the moist forests of Australia lives a bird that turns imitation into a supreme art, the superb lyrebird. Its gigantic lyre-shaped tail, a fan of long, curved feathers that rise like a musical arc, is impressive at first sight. But its true genius is not in its appearance, but in its voice. This bird is capable of copying almost any sound it hears in its environment, from the songs of other birds to noises that should never belong to nature's repertoire. Imagine walking through the forest and suddenly hearing the roar of a chainsaw, the metallic click of a camera, or even a car alarm siren. It's not a logger or a tourist. It's the superb lyrebird repeating each of these noises with unsettling realism. Its imitations are so precise that they can deceive even a trained ear. It is like a living recorder, a conscious echo of what is happening around it. The male uses this gift to court. During the mating season, it clears a small stage on the ground and begins its show. There it displays its magnificent lyre-shaped tail and combines choreographed movements with an almost infinite repertoire of sounds. It doesn't just sing, but narrates the jungle, repeating voices, chirps, mechanical noises, and even dog barks. All of this with a clear objective: to dazzle the female and prove that he is an absolute master of the environment. This extraordinary talent is not just a curiosity, but a testament to the ability of birds to learn and adapt. The superb lyrebird is, in essence, a sonic witness to the history of Australian forests, a living archive where every noise is transformed into a melody. 5. Resplendent quetzal, Pharomacris mochino. In the cloud forests of Central America lives a bird that seems to be made of light, the resplendent quetzal. Its iridescent green plumage reflects the sun's rays as if forged from liquid jade, while its fiery red chest resembles the fire of an altar. But what is most mesmerizing is its tail, a cascade of feathers that can be several times the length of its body, waving in the air like a living banner. The quetzal is not just a spectacle for the eyes. It is also a profound symbol in the history of Mesoamerica. For the Mayans and Aztecs, it was a sacred bird, associated with freedom, divine power, and the fertility of the earth. It was said that it could never live in captivity. If someone tried to cage it, the quetzal would prefer to die rather than lose its freedom. This belief turned it into an emblem of kingdoms and legends, to the point that today, its name gives life to Guatemala's currency and national spirit. Beyond the legend, the quetzal plays a crucial role in the cloud forest. It feeds on wild fruits, especially small avocados, dispersing their seeds and keeping the jungle's balance alive. Each flight is a promise of regeneration, a way to ensure the forest continues to thrive. Seeing a quetzal in the wild is like witnessing a dream. Its feathers seem to change tone depending on the light. Green, gold, blue, even violet. When the male launches into a courtship flight, Its tail unfurls like a brilliant river flowing through the mountain mist. 6. Blue-throated sapphire, Hylocaris cyanus. Among the tropical flowers of northern South America appears a flash that looks like a ray of light trapped in a tiny body. It is the blue-throated sapphire hummingbird, one of the smallest and most dazzling jewels of the animal kingdom. Its size is no bigger than a human thumb, but in its throat it holds a brilliant secret, a metallic blue glow that under the sun looks like a lit LED in the middle of the jungle. This hummingbird is a tireless acrobat. Its wings beat so fast that they produce a sharp hum, like that of a tiny invisible motor. It can fly forward, backward, sideways, and even stay suspended in the air, as if defying gravity were the most natural thing in the world. With each flight, it approaches flowers to extract nectar with its tongue, and at the same time fulfills an essential role in pollination, carrying life from one flower to another in a silent and vital exchange. The iridescence of its throat is not just a simple fixed color. It is a play of light. When the sun's rays hit the microstructures of its feathers, the reflection changes in intensity and tone. In one instant, it looks like a deep blue. In another, it transforms into an electric flash that cuts through the air. For females, this glow is like a luminous signal, a sign of strength and vitality in a minuscule body. What's amazing is that this tiny being has a metabolism that beats like a frantic drum. Its heart can reach more than 1,000 beats per minute, and to survive, it must feed every few minutes. 7. Mandarin duck, Ix galericulata. Among the tropical flowers of northern South America appears a flash that looks like a ray of light trapped in a tiny body. It is the blue-throated sapphire hummingbird, one of the smallest and most dazzling jewels of the animal kingdom. Its size is no bigger than a human thumb, but in its throat, it holds a brilliant secret, a metallic blue glow that under the sun looks like a lit LED in the middle of the jungle. This hummingbird is a tireless acrobat. Its wings beat so fast that they produce a sharp hum, like that of a tiny, invisible motor. It can fly forward, backward, sideways, and even stay suspended in the air, as if defying gravity were the most natural thing in the world. With each flight, it approaches flowers to extract nectar with its tongue, and at the same time fulfills an essential role in pollination, carrying life from one flower to another in a silent and vital exchange. The iridescence of its throat is not just a simple fixed color. It is a play of light. When the sun's rays hit the microstructures of its feathers, the reflection changes in intensity and tone. In one instant, it looks like a deep blue. In another, it transforms into an electric flash that cuts through the air. For females, this glow is like a luminous signal, a sign of strength and vitality in a minuscule body. 8. Amazonian umbrella bird, Cephalopterus ornatus. Deep in the Amazon, a bird is hidden that seems designed for a dark carnival. It is the Amazonian umbrella bird, a creature enveloped in a cloak of mystery. Its entire body is covered in black feathers like shadow, but what truly distinguishes it is its extravagant headdress, a rounded crest that spreads over its head as if it were wearing a personal umbrella. This strange umbrella gives it a theatrical, almost gothic appearance, as if the jungle had invented its own costume artist. That's not all. A long, fleshy wattle covered in feathers hangs from its chest, looking like a dangling ornament, or even a natural microphone. During courtship, the male turns this wattle into a sound instrument. It perches high in a tree and emits a deep, metallic song that resonates like an ancient trumpet. The echo travels through the forest, and anyone who hears it would think it comes from a much larger animal. It's his way of impressing females, not only by showing off his peculiar umbrella, but by filling the air with notes that seem to come from another world. The Amazonian umbrella bird is a perfect example of how evolution dares to play with excess. Its appearance may seem strange to us, but in its habitat, it plays a precise role, that of a sound messenger in the jungle. When it unfurls its crest and lets the wattle vibrate with each sound, it becomes a hypnotic spectacle that only the most fortunate get to witness. Little known outside its territory, This bird is one of the Amazon's best-kept secrets. A reminder that even in a world where we think we've seen it all, nature still holds surprises as extravagant as they are elegant. 9. Scarlet ibis, Eudocimus ruber. In the wetlands of South America, a flash appears that seems to have been torn from a painter's palette. The scarlet ibis. From the tip of its long, curved beak to its feet, its entire body shines in an intense red, as if it had been dipped directly in crimson paint. This color is not just a visual spectacle, but a vital message. It indicates health, strength, and the ability to reproduce, a code that only other ibises can decipher. The scarlet ibis moves gracefully over shallow water, searching for small crustaceans and larvae that dye its plumage the vibrant red that makes it famous. Its long toes spread over the mud as it forages, creating a hypnotic contrast between the intensity of its color and the softness of the water and mud. When flying, its red silhouette stands out against the blue sky, forming clouds of light that move in synchronized groups, like an aerial parade. The life of the scarlet ibis is deeply tied to the ecosystems of mangroves, lagoons, and estuaries. As it moves in flocks, it not only seeks food, but also helps maintain a delicate balance. By stirring up the mud and feeding on invertebrates, it contributes to the health of the wetland and the nutrient cycle. It is a reminder that even the most intense beauty has a purpose in the web of life. Observing a scarlet ibis is like seeing a living brushstroke that moves, breathes, and lives. Every step, every flight, and every gleam of its red plumage transmits energy and strength. In the silence of the wetland, its color is unmissable, turning it into an emblem of tropical exuberance. 10. Secretary bird, Sagittarius serpentarius. In the open plains of Africa, among tall grasses swaying in the wind, a hunter walks as if from an ancient scroll, the secretary bird. Its posture is elegant, almost aristocratic, with long, slender legs that allow it to move with a firm and calculated stride, like a guardian patrolling its territory. Its name comes from those long feathers that stand up behind its head, looking like old quill pens used for writing letters and documents, a detail that gives it the air of an aristocratic intellectual, while it stalks with lethal precision. The secretary bird is a specialist in hunting snakes. Its piercing eyes scan the ground for any movement, and when it detects its prey, its feet strike with surprising force. A quick and accurate blow is usually enough to subdue even the most venomous snakes. This skill has made the secretary bird one of the most respected predators of the savanna, a creature whose presence commands respect and caution in its ecosystem. Despite its severe appearance, it also shows surprising behaviors. It can walk great distances under the scorching sun, exploring its territory in search of food and water, and in every movement, it reveals a perfect balance between grace and efficiency. Its flight is powerful and broad, rising majestically over the golden grass and offering a view that combines strength, beauty, and precision. The secretary bird is, in many ways, a symbol of survival and adaptability. Its feathers are not only an ornament, but also a sign of maturity and health, a warning to females, and a reminder to rivals. Watching it is to witness a perfect balance between aesthetics and functionality, an animal whose appearance and skills narrate the story of millions of years of evolution on the African plains. 11. Toko toucan, Ramphastos toko. In the forests and jungles of South America, there is a bird that looks like a character from a fantasy book, the toko toucan. The first thing that catches the eye is its enormous orange beak, disproportionate to its body, which curves gently like a sculptural work. At first glance, it seems impractical, even ridiculous, but it is actually a marvel of evolution. That giant beak functions as a natural radiator, regulating the toucan's temperature and allowing it to stay cool under the intense tropical sun. Its body, more compact and covered in black feathers, contrasts with the explosion of color of its beak and its white face, creating an image that is impossible to forget. When the toucan perches on a tree branch, its silhouette stands out against the sky like an emblem of the jungle, and every movement, although seemingly clumsy, is perfectly calculated to maintain balance. The toko toucan is more than a visual spectacle. It is a master of feeding in fruit trees. Its diet consists mainly of fruits, which it carefully selects thanks to the length and precision of its beak. Each bite is part of an ecological cycle. While eating, it disperses seeds that help regenerate the forest, becoming a silent gardener of its environment. Furthermore, it is a social bird. It moves in small groups, emitting calls that sound like metallic echoes and bounce off tree trunks, communicating its presence and strengthening bonds within the group. Seeing a toko toucan is an experience that combines astonishment and admiration. A being that defies visual and functional logic, reminding us that nature can be extravagant, elegant, and absolutely efficient at the same time. 12. Blue-footed booby, Sula nebuxi. On the rocky islands of the Pacific, where the wind and waves seem to set the rhythm of life, lives a bird that is pure visual fun, the blue-footed booby. Its most striking feature is not its white and brown plumage or its elongated beak, but its feet, a brilliant turquoise blue that seems to be lit from within. Each step of these feet is a declaration of identity, a signal that females watch with attention during the mating season. The male's dance is legendary. It stands tall, lifts its feet in an exaggerated manner, and moves them back and forth in a precise and comical choreography, while tilting its head and emitting a slight hum. This entire ritual, as strange as it is charming, has a very clear purpose: to demonstrate strength, coordination, and health, qualities that ensure its offspring have a greater chance of survival. The combination of grace and apparent clumsiness makes the show irresistible, both for the females and for those lucky enough to observe it up close. Despite its playful appearance, the blue-footed booby is an excellent hunter. It dives with surgical precision into the water surrounding the islands, catching fish and small invertebrates with quick and decisive movements. Its feet, although picturesque, are perfect tools for maintaining balance when getting out of the water and moving over slippery rocks. This bird combines beauty, humor, and efficiency in a unique mix. Its presence reminds us that nature is not always solemn. Sometimes it is extravagant, playful, and surprisingly ingenious. Watching a blue-footed booby's mating dance is like witnessing a private spectacle where elegance and comedy coexist, leaving an indelible mark on your memory. 13. Violet turako, Musophaga violacea. In the dense tropical forests of West Africa lives a bird that seems to be from a fairy tale of kings and princesses, the violet turako. Its plumage, an intense purple that shines with every sun ray that filters through the leaves, makes it stand out even among the darkest vegetation. A fiery red crest rises on its head, like a royal headdress that proudly and elegantly announces its presence. This contrast of colors makes it one of the most striking and majestic birds in its territory, a true exotic prince among the branches. The violet turako doesn't just dazzle with its appearance. Its bright eyes and alert gaze reveal an animal aware of its surroundings, quick to move among branches and vines, balancing with precision as it searches for fruits, leaves, and small invertebrates. Its fruit-eating diet makes it a vital seed disperser, ensuring the regeneration of the forests that shelter it. Every short and elegant flight is an act of perfect balance, where the combination of strength and color hypnotizes anyone lucky enough to observe it. Furthermore, its sounds are as unique as its plumage. They emit calls that resemble a distant chorus of trumpets, resonating among the trees and communicating their presence to other turakos. It is a song that announces power and territoriality, but also a bond with its group and habitat. 14. Satin bowerbird, Domystilonorhynchus violaceus. In the forests and thickets of Australia, a bird exists that seems to mix human creativity with natural instinct. The satin bowerbird. Its body with purplish and bluish tones is only the first impression. The truly amazing thing happens when the male becomes an architect and artist. During the mating season, it carefully selects a small plot of land, clearing leaves, branches, and any obstacle, transforming the ground into a perfect stage for its spectacle. Then, the most surprising part begins. It builds its bower. It collects stones, flowers, seeds, and all kinds of objects it finds. But there is an unbreakable rule. Everything must be blue. Buttons, plastic pieces, shells, or flowers, anything that shines with that shade is strategically placed to create a mosaic that attracts the female's attention. Each object not only has a precise place, but also contributes to the visual harmony of the whole, revealing an aesthetic sense that seems almost human. When the female arrives, the male begins his courtship. He moves around the bower, performs gestures and small dances, and emits sounds that accompany the exhibition. Every movement is calculated to impress, to show that he is strong, intelligent, and capable of maintaining a fertile home. The female watches attentively, evaluating not only the size of the bower, but the arrangement and brightness of each object as if she were in front of a living work of art. 15. Vogelkop, superb bird of paradise, Lophorina nieda. In the remote jungles of West Papua lives a bird that seems to be from another dimension. The Vogelkop, superb bird of paradise. At first glance, its black body is elegant and discreet, but during courtship, everything changes. The male unfurls a cloak of feathers that completely envelops it, transforming it into a perfect dark circle with perfectly rounded edges. From a distance, one might confuse it with a dancing shadow, but upon closer inspection, the bright eyes that emerge from its center reveal the life and intention behind that spectacle. It's as if the jungle had created a small alien being just to amaze anyone who sees it. This display is neither a coincidence nor a whim. It is a meticulous ritual of seduction. The male rotates slowly, showing the contrast of its feathers and the iridescent flashes that appear with the light, while emitting soft but hypnotic sounds that fill the humid air of the jungle. Every movement is calculated to capture the female's attention, inviting her to approach and evaluate his vigor, coordination, and creativity. In this small, natural theater, evolution has designed a spectacle where beauty and efficiency intertwine in perfect harmony. The Vogelkop superb bird of paradise is a reminder that nature can be extravagant, theatrical, and almost magical. Its colors, shapes, and movements seem to defy logic, but fulfill a vital purpose: to ensure the survival of the species through the most effective attraction possible.